Hey guys, it's DBJ. Um, Something quite personal happened in my life and got me to thinking about some things. And so I know that it's going to be a little bit personal, and I do not want to bring anybody down. So, and I'm not really a negative kind of a kind of person or a person that brings the negative connotations into things. But it had me thinking about something. So I decided to do a couple of web series. You know, I have one now called a Q&A. I'll go back to my Bring Back the Magic. I've got some of my best and worst of. But this one's going to be about monsters. It's just nothing but monsters. And did one, kind of ranted a little bit on infestations. This one's going to be on parasites, monster parasites. And you can really do some unique things with some really basic monsters by just turning them into parasites. Now, difference between, I think, an infestation and a parasite is that a parasitic creature, and of course it would say this in the description, but a parasitic creature really cannot live without its host. And that host could be one individual. It could be all the members of people living in a village. It could be another creature. And parasites are cool because they can change or create a dynamic in one creature that becomes even worse. So, an example would be you want your player characters to encounter a troll, and this troll's terrorizing this village or something, and the villagers are like, "There's a troll over the hill, and he keeps coming into our place and terrorizing everything." And the players find out that the troll is infected with rot grubs. You know, some kind of mealworm or rot grub, if you remember this from Dungeons and Dragons, or maybe there's some kind of leeches or something that are all through its body. And if you're familiar with classic D&D trolls, they heal. So maybe the rot grubs won't leave the troll because they keep feeding on it, and the troll can't get rid of the rot grubs because the troll keeps healing. So in effect, there's like an infinite loop. They have something to feed on this whole time, and maybe it drives the troll crazy. So now here you got two creatures. Okay, you've got a troll or maybe a group of trolls. You've got some another, parasitic creature, some rot grubs. Players hate those too, and you can combine them together. And then the third thing about parasites is getting rid of them. And the players now may have a way to, if they are not of a level where they can, effectively fight a troll and get their asses kicked, well, maybe they can cure the troll if they find out what was going on. And then you can come up with a plot. Did the troll just eat something, and get these rot grubs? Maybe they're going to infect the village, or maybe someone in the village purposely wanted to kill the trolls or infect them with rot grubs to see if they could get rid of them. Or maybe, just maybe, there's a third party that wanted the trolls to go crazy and attack the village and get sick, bringing all this attention because it distracts everybody from what's really going on. Okay, now you can come up with parasitic animals that are not normally parasitic. I played in a game where a guy took zombies and skeletons, and he added into the zombies and skeletons all kinds of things. Giant beetles in their bodies, spiders, snakes, oozes, spores, some of the more hideous vegetable creatures, and mushrooms and things. And so now you're fighting not just a horde of skeletons, but there's a horde of skeletons and zombies with beetles coming out of their eyes and mouth, snakes entwined into their body, insect infestations and hives in their skin, spitting up oozes, black, black pudding and gray oozes coming out of their mouth to attack the characters and stuff. And you could really create something with a parasite. The other thing with the parasite, like I said, you can also make a story behind it. It could be just a complete accident. Okay, the parasite, the two meet together and becomes parasitic, and that's it. Or you could have a situation where someone purposefully, through a curse, through poisoning, through political manipulation, through jealousy or rage or anger, selfishness, wants to destroy the other one by creating this parasitic relationship. Now, not all parasitic relationships are evil. Sure, you could have a wyvern infected with some kind of like a brain beetle, and the wyvern's going crazy. But not all parasitic relationships are bad. Some parasitic relationships can be good. Maybe there's a parasitic relationship where one creature benefits from the other. I made up a random encounter where a number of giant spiders, and if anyone's familiar with classic D&D, there's an ettercap, which is kind of a humanoid spider-like creature. And I placed together where this ettercap was basically living in a hive with a bunch of other spider-like creatures. Now, that's not necessarily parasitic, but the other insects aren't smart enough to realize they're part of this parasitic relationship. I even threw in a couple of cave fishers. There were a couple of rust monsters. And so they all worked together in a synergy. The spiders captured passersby. They can't get out. The rust monster smells the metal of the heavily armored and weaponized passersby. They destroy all the armor. Once the armor's destroyed, the spiders can suck all their blood out. Hey, it works together. Was it by chance? Sure, maybe a little bit by chance. Did the ettercap kind of put them together and kind of use them as like pets or something? Sure. And so you can combine together some really bizarre and odd creatures as those living in synergy, or those one suffering from the other, and create a much more unique experience. I know that most of us, we make, especially in a lot of my videos, I make references to like goblins and orcs and hobgoblins and bugbears and stuff. And they start to blend together a little bit. I mean, you know, the whole orc horde is just such a staple of D&D, tabletop D&D, and even in video games and novels and movies, that it becomes kind of it's such a cliche that it gets a little bit boring, and it's hard to insert something new into that. So imagine a goblin horde that's been, you know, infected or taken over or something. Maybe they're suffering from some kind of a disease or debilitation or something, and that could be possible. Now, something a little more insidious would be for the player characters to go into, say, a humanoid village, an elven village or humans or something like that. Doesn't matter. And they go in and they go to the local tavern. They go to collect information and those kind of things, and they're having a parasitic relationship with another creature. Let's say, here's a classic one. A simple classic parasitic relationship would be a vampire. That the people in this village willingly either sacrifice themselves, or without killing themselves, they give of their blood to a vampire lord or a vampire clan. Something that happens very often in the world of Darkness, where a vampire, classic world of vampire. I mean, World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade. Sheesh. Anyway, that is one type of parasitic relationship. Another one could be where maybe the people in the village, when their people die, they give their dead bodies to a local necromancer. The necromancer says, hey, I will protect you from the orc hordes that are led by a dragon if you give me your dead people so I can use them as skeletons and zombies in my army. And the people in the village go, well, let's see, he feeds us and he defends us, and he's kind of a sick bastard, but if we just give our dead people to him, maybe this will be cool. Okay, we're defended. We happen to be the most protected and well fed and stocked village for hundreds of miles around, and no one knows why we're successful, but that's because we give of ourselves freely to the necromancer. I mean, what's he got to come and he doesn't have to mind control us at all. We just give of our dead people to him, and maybe there's some kind of weird balance between the necromancer and the dragon horde. And if one goes out of balance, if you defeat the necromancer, the dragon overtakes. If you defeat the dragon, the necromancer overtakes the land. That could be a very odd choice for player characters to encounter. So anyway, to summarize, monster parasites. Some of them can be pretty dangerous. I'm not going to open up a bestiary and start going through them. Some of them can be pretty sick too. And not only would it be harmful for the players to, be infected by whatever it is, whether it's mental or psychological or mystical, whether it's by a spirit or an insect or a disease or something where this parasite infests them, but actually the environment that they're in, the choices that they make. Would they destroy this village's lifestyle, knowing that they are willingly giving of their people to support an evil necromancer? Maybe that's the choice that they had to make, and tough choices to me are really cool as a player character, because you can always go back and either change your mind or live with the consequences and then let the world continue on. So anyway, I'm DBJ, Davey B, doesn't matter. Please comment. I haven't had too many dislikes on a video. I might try to do a video where I want everybody to hit dislike just to see what would happen. I think that would be kind of cool. So anyway, as always, create, don't destroy, and thanks again for your attention. Thanks, guys, for those that have subscribed and all the commenters and brilliant ideas, brilliant comments. I can't believe people going out of their way to feed my brain with all the creativity. You're like my muse. So thanks again, guys. And this old man likes to create. I don't like to destroy much. I'm out.